January 2026. A ceremony in the Ethiopian desert, 45 kilometers southeast of Addis Ababa. What you're looking at is the groundbreaking of the largest airport ever built in African history. 4 runways, a terminal the size of 70 football fields. Capacity for 110 million passengers a year, more than London Heathrow, more than New York JFK. But here's where this gets weird. The country building this is broke. Ethiopia just restructured $28 billion in debt. Their currency collapsed. Inflation is rampant. So how does a government that can't pay its bills drop $12.5 billion on an airport? That question led me down a rabbit hole. And what I found changes everything you think you know about how nations build wealth in the 21st century. The answer is this: Ethiopian Airlines. But not the way you think. While most African airlines are government bailout projects, Ethiopian Airlines is a profit machine. In 2024, they made $7 billion in revenue, more than Kenya Airways, South African Airways, and Egypt Air combined. They fly to 130 destinations across 5 continents. They own 150 aircraft, all paid for in cash. No leases, no debt. Here's the setup. Technically, Ethiopian Airlines is state-owned, but it operates like a completely independent corporation. They don't take money from the government. They're completely self-funded. Every dollar they make goes back into expansion, new planes, new routes, and now, new airports. Think of it this way. While the Ethiopian government is begging the IMF for loans, Ethiopian Airlines is buying billion-dollar aircraft fleets with cash and financing Africa's largest infrastructure project. As their CEO put it, "We are not just an airline. We are the economic backbone of this nation." So why build an airport this massive? The answer is geography. Ethiopia has 120 million people. That makes it the second most populous country in Africa. But unlike Kenya, Tanzania, or Nigeria, they have zero access to the ocean. No ports means no easy trade. But Addis Ababa sits at 7,700 feet above sea level, perfect for aviation. Their planes can take off with heavier cargo loads than airports at sea level. This is where it gets geopolitical. Look at a map. Addis Ababa is almost exactly halfway between Beijing and São Paulo. It's also in the perfect time zone to connect morning flights from Asia with afternoon flights to Europe and evening flights to the Americas. No other African city can say that. What Ethiopian Airlines is building is the Dubai model, but for Africa. Become the connecting hub that everyone has to fly through. Right now, if you want to fly from Lagos to Guangzhou, you route through Dubai or Doha. Ethiopia wants to steal that traffic. Here's the math. Addis Ababa Bole Airport, the current one, handles about 25 million passengers a year. It's completely maxed out. The new Bishoftu Airport will handle 110 million. That's a 340% increase. But here's the question. Where are those extra 85 million passengers going to come from? Quick thing, if you're enjoying this deep dive into African megaprojects, hit that subscribe button. Because Ethiopia isn't the only one playing this game. Rwanda is constructing a $2 billion airport. Kenya is expanding JKIA. Even Ghana is building a new hub. And then there are the Middle Eastern giants, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Doha, who've been doing this for 30 years and have way more money. If Ethiopian Airlines can't fill those 110 million seats, this doesn't just hurt the airline. Remember, the airline is the economy. There's a recent cautionary tale. Sri Lanka built a massive port in Hambantota with Chinese loans. It was supposed to transform their economy, but they couldn't fill it, couldn't pay back the loans. and eventually had to lease it to China for 99 years just to service the debt. Economists call this the white elephant trap, building infrastructure that's too big, too fast, with money you don't have. So what's the verdict? Is Ethiopia genius or delusional? History gives us two models. Singapore started as a poor port city and became one of the richest nations on earth by being the connecting node for global trade. But Sri Lanka tried the same thing and ended up in economic collapse. The difference? Execution. Singapore filled their airports and ports. Sri Lanka didn't. Ethiopia has the airline. They have the route network. They have the geography. What they don't have is margin for error. This airport is set to open in 2030. That gives them 4 years to prove that a landlocked African nation can become the aviation capital of the continent. 4 years to prove that being broke today doesn't mean you can't be rich tomorrow. The clock is ticking. Will Ethiopia become the next Singapore or the next Sri Lanka? Let's hear from you in the comment section.